the Zelda movie was announced. That was not something I was expecting to see or hear ever. With the success of the Mario movie, it was to be expected, honestly. There have been a lot of speculations about the film. We honestly don't have much. This is just crazy to me. And I'm curious to see if, like, the previous script for the series that they had, like these ideas, if they're going to use them here. Because if they are, I don't remember this properly. It's been quite a few years, but this Zelda series was supposed to be based on Ocarina of Time, was it not? Ocarina of Time, I think, would be a good starting point. Because, like, people haven't figured out what they're gonna grab from where. It's gonna be live action. And what the hey? Why couldn't it be animated? You know how cool it would have been to have a 3D animated Zelda movie? And have it be in the art style of, like, let's say Twilight Princess? Which, Twilight Princess is not gonna be the movie they adapt, okay? Because it's too dark, alright? I remember a couple years ago there was like a fan movie, I think? I couldn't find anything on this, but someone has to tell me. There was a fan casting for the movie Twilight Princess, and I remember because there were auditions, and there was a whole list of people auditioning for shit. Let me get the harder ones out of the way. I don't know. Okay, I'm really bad with names. Alright, so I had to look up every single one of these producers and like the people they are working with. Not just for the sake of knowing what the hell they're doing. It says a lot about what something could be just by who's working on it. And we were able to kind of see that because we had worries that the Mario movie would be bad because of Illumination. But we have to keep in mind that Nintendo probably only worked with them because of the art style, because they knew that if they worked with a big name company who was known for cutesy stuff and known for making massive amounts of money, because let's not forget Nintendo cares about the money, they were not going to fail. And they were right. Unfortunately, there were some things in there that were very Illumination, but this is not what this video is about. This video is about the Zelda movie that I have been anticipating for as long as I've been alive. I've been a Zelda fan since the moment I popped out of the womb. I was already playing The Legend of Zelda. I was like, oh hell yeah, let me slaughter some creatures while I save the princess. This means everything to me. And if they screw this up, I'm gonna be so upset. There's nothing else I could say, because what else would I do? Oh, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna boycott Zelda. Hell no, what the fuck? I'm gonna keep playing that shit. But okay, let's talk about producers and whatever the hell else. So we've got, I had to write these down because again, I'm terrible with names. West Ball. This is probably the most confusing of them all. Why is probably question number 1. And why is question number 2? My theory is the Maze Runner. Everyone on this list, with the exception of maybe Aviarad, hasn't really made anything good in a while. Like, the last thing West Ball did, according to his IMDb, of course, maybe it wasn't updated, I don't know, was 2010. And it wasn't even like a... I don't even... Look. It wasn't even like a movie. So I'm like, why resurface this guy? I'm not saying that they shouldn't have. I mean, hell yeah, if the guy is known for something and he's got work and he does a good job at it, then yes, bring him back. Just because he hasn't done anything in a while doesn't mean he's gonna be bad. But if you look at the rest of his stuff, he's got a lot of Star Trek in here and they're all pretty mid, right? You have to remember he's a visual guy. My only thing is, if they're adding him for the Maze Runner, this means that temples are gonna happen, right? Because the whole deal of The Legend of Zelda, you know, the classic Legend of Zelda pre-Breath of the Wild, is essentially... Wow, the fact that that's classic now, that's crazy. I feel old. It goes from temple to temple, right? I mean, Zelda fans know this. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom kind of have this. But I think that's why he was chosen. Because someone at Nintendo was like, yo, this movie, as divisive as it is, it's absolutely stunning. And the scale, and it's huge. I've never watched this movie. I wouldn't know. I've seen clips. But I will not disagree that this movie is visually impressive. For the time especially, and just in general. The movie itself, whether it's good or not, I don't know. I've never watched it. but I like the way it looks. And I have a feeling that this man, this Swiss ball guy, he might know what's up. I don't know, if they're gonna do temples, and if they're gonna deal with structures, I kinda trust this guy. Are there better candidates? Probably. But hey, we don't know anything yet. We literally have no information. So why are we judging him so hard? Next guy is Derek Connolly. Why? My biggest thing when I was reading through this IMDb list was Detective Pikachu. That's what I saw immediately, and I was like, they already have... Nintendo has this like, yeah, this guy's worked on Pokemon, and the Pokemon movie looked great, and it did, I will not deny that. The visuals were, Screenplay though, if he's being hired for screenplay, for designing and writing a story? I'm sorry, what? This man better be a Zelda stan, because or else he's not gonna get it. He's gonna ruin it. But hey, it is too soon to get angry. We don't know yet. We don't even know what they're adapting to begin with, because it could be literally anything. It could be Wind Waker. It could be Tears of the Kingdom. It could be Ocarina of Time. It could be Twilight Princess. It could be something completely new, and they're bringing in dinosaurs, and that scares me. Because it matters. Because it genuinely matters what game they're adapting. If they're... I mean, obviously they're adapting pieces of things. The core idea of Zelda is... Link is the everyman. Very nice, handsome eyebrows, as Nintendo has said themselves. Walks around, do-do-do-do-do. Oh no, I have to save the princess. And then he saves the princess. Well, he has to get the Master Sword first. And he has to... Then he saves the princess, he fights Ganon, and boom, that's the end of the story. So, why this guy? I don't understand. Because he has an awful track record. What are these people? Are they... What... Have you... I'm sorry, Nintendo, can I introduce you to... Again, I'm terrible with names, but can I introduce you with anyone who's worked on, I don't know, Avatar? I'm assuming they're busy making the next Avatar. But I'm just saying, maybe you can, you know, hire someone, one or two people for like a few hours, you know, to just like write a thing. They have good story. They have great visuals. Amazing CGI. The nature, oh my god. Have you watched those films? They look so good. So why this guy? I don't understand. But anyways, we're moving on. Avirat. I don't understand the argument against this guy. A lot of people are like, oh, he made Morbius. He made Uncharted. Okay, and? He made Spider-Man movies. Have you watched the Spider-Man movies? Like, any of them? Like, at all? They're great. They're not all amazing. But they're great. Yeah, he's made some shitty things, but he's also made some really good things. And a lot of the really good stuff he's made is a little more recent. People are allowed to change. People are allowed to improve. Morbius sucked. But he also made Across the Spider-Verse. And he also made Spider-Man No Way Home. And he also made Spider-Man Far From Home. And he also made Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Oh, no. They're gonna make Tom Holland Link. I personally don't want Tom Holland to be Link. I said it. I don't care what you think. I don't think he fits the bill. I don't think he looks like Link. I don't think he will act like Link. Because how are you gonna have Tom Holland in a movie and not have him talk or have him be himself? You know what I mean? He's very good at playing these, like... He's very good Spider-Man. Honestly, I feel like he was born to play Spider-Man. Let's move on from Tom Holland before I go on a further rant. Hunter Schafer. Hunter Schafer is another person who I have seen... People are like, this should be Zelda or Link. I like this idea. I've never seen this person in my life. I don't watch a lot of movies. Yeah, I'm looking at this beautiful individual and I'm like, yeah, you know what? This person could totally play Zelda and or Link. Either one would be fine. I would prefer probably Zelda, I want to say. Just because, like, I have a very specific vision of what Link should look like, but honestly, either role would be absolutely fine. Now, my concern is, who the fuck's gonna play Ganondorf? And is there gonna be a secondary villain? Because I would love it if we had, like a Zant, or like a Girahim. I think that would be fucking great. Or like a Koga, you know what I mean? But who's the fuck's gonna play Ganondorf? And if anyone chooses Ganondorf, can it not be Dwayne Johnson? Can he play a Goron instead? You know how hilarious that would be? I'm sorry, it's such a stupid joke, but The Rock is playing a rock man who eats rocks. That would be great. I don't know, I'm just curious. Okay, because Ganon's a pretty big deal. And as much as I like Matthew Mercer, I don't think he was right for the role. Just because, like, I feel like Ganondorf should have had like a more bassy kind of, you know what I mean? Like in Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time. He doesn't really talk much, but you can kind of hear it in his voice. But it doesn't matter. because I like Matthew Mercer. So I'm like, hell yeah, Tears of the Kingdom Ganondorf is such a thirst trap. It's totally okay. I'm just curious because no one's talking about that. Everyone's like, who's gonna play Link? Who's gonna play Zelda? Who the fuck's gonna play Ganon? You need. I think honestly, I think fighting Ganon is probably the harder one because you need a big buff dude who's got this incredible scowl in his face that could murder anyone who stands in his way. I need to know who's gonna play Ganon. Who the fuck's gonna play Ganon? But I feel like The Legend of Zelda deserves more respect because it's a more mature story, and I want them to treat it with respect. I'm not expecting this movie to be great. I'm really not. But I do hope that it is treated with the respect it deserves. Because there is an entire, like, decade they can pick from in terms of what to do. And there's so much they can do, right? Obviously, they're gonna make Zelda more empowered. And they're gonna make her this strong female character because people believe that Zelda's useless and that she's not strong. I'm sorry, have you played the same Zelda games that I have? Sure, she doesn't do much in a lot of them, but she's changed. Twilight Princess, again, quote, doesn't do much. I mean, she kinda doesn't do anything physical. She gave up her entire kingdom in order to save all of their lives. She gave up herself to save their lives. She was strong and mature enough to realize that she was fighting a tyrant. She doesn't do much in Twilight Princess, I'm not gonna deny that, but she's not a damsel in distress in the slightest. Ocarina of Time. Newsflash, she's Sheik. Might I remind you that Sheik's whole purpose? To gather information from Ganon and then give it to Link. Skyward Sword, also not a damsel in distress. She is the goddess reborn, and she spends an entire journey trying to gather this power and this knowledge and these abilities so that she can help save the world. I feel like people don't remember any of this. They just haven't really utilized her too well, I would say, but she's an empowering character. I've always found Zelda to be incredibly impressive. So, I don't know. They're not gonna do Twilight Princess as much as I would love for that to happen. I think it's too dark. Nintendo's probably going to choose something that's more appealing to a wider audience. So if anything, Ocarina of Time, or straight up just Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because that's the more popular franchise. Most of the new mainstream fans joined in during Breath of the Wild. So maybe they're not gonna do Classic Zelda, or maybe they'll do a bit of Classic Zelda just because, again, the Maze Runner guy. They'll find a way to please us both. But I'm just curious, okay? Because I really want them to adapt Twilight Princess, but I think it's too dark. I think it's too dark because Ganondorf is completely annihilated, stabbed in the chest, he gets tortured, this and that, the bloody history of Hyrule. There's a lot they're not going to want to touch. But my two guesses are... Also, I would love Majora's Mask, by the way. My two guesses would be Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom, because it's the same, timeline universe. Anyways, I think I've gone on long enough. We honestly have very little information. We know absolutely nothing. And I'm not someone who likes to get ahead of themselves. So until we get more information, casting, I think actor casting is going to be a very big deal. That's it. That's it. And I think I should stop talking before it's been too long. Too long. It's a Zelda movie. Be excited. Don't be mad. Stop going on Twitter and getting pissed off because Wes Ball or Derek Connolly or whatever is producing or whatever the fuck. Just don't be a spoiled bitch and just wait for more information to come out. That's it. Just be patient. So let's hope for the future. I am cautiously optimistic that the Zelda movie will be decent. Let's put it at that. And until we get more information, that's it. Can't wait to find out more. That's it.